is trying. And she's a little jealous of the one that's successful, right? Anyway, they go hang out one night, and the writer that is successful makes them pancakes. They were like drinking, kind of giggling all night, and she's gonna make them pancakes. Oh, sorry, the air kicked on. But anyway, so she's making the pancakes, and they start eating the pancakes, and then the successful writer chokes on the pancakes and literally passes away. That's not a spoiler. That's how the book opens, kind of. And so the less successful writer that hasn't had her big break yet gets into her notes and finds out what she was about to write about and steals the whole idea. The problem is the successful writer was Asian, and it delves into like her culture and stuff. So she's writing about a culture that she's not connected to. So there's like some sensitivity issues and stuff. The book was started, so she finished it. So it was some of her work, anyways. It gets published, and how she goes about telling the public how she got these ideas and why she's the right woman to write about this culture that she's not even involved in and stuff, and it goes up from there. Did I like it? You know, it was okay. It wasn't, I think it was overhyped. If I'm being honest, I think it was overhyped. It was okay. I think it's like in my head a 3.5. I know a lot of people that gave it 4 and 5 stars. And then I started Dear Debbie. By Frida McFadden. And this is about, there's a lady that, Debbie, she works part-time for a newspaper where she gives advice, kind of like a Dear Abby, right? She's got 2 teenage daughters that are pretty mean to her. And if you've ever had teenage daughters, you know that it can be, sometimes they don't want to be said hello to, or how you doing to. It is the ultimate crime to say, hey, how are you, how you doing, hey, hello. So she's going through that with her teenage daughters. And then her husband, he's struggling at work. He's due for raises that he's scared to ask for. And he's also up to no good. assassin. For infants, his blood runs the magic skill, which is a separate power, and darker knowledge of a child raised with the stable hounds and rejected by his family. But King Shrewd's intentions are to use him for what? I don't exactly know yet. It's a slow burn, and I'm glad I knew that before I got into it because it allowed me to enjoy it through that lens. I wasn't expecting like a ton of action, and I'm fully submerged. And it's great writing. It is. Okay, those are the books that I'm reading. Now, what have I been eating? Tomato mozzarella. Tomato mozzarella avocado salad with balsamic glaze. Get fresh mozzarella like slices or the balls. We had grilled out burgers one night. It was pretty hot out actually, but my husband wanted to grill, so we grilled out some burgers. They were delicious. My last day of school, I got home and Chris was off with one of his big sisters, so I cooked myself a salmon and some quinoa, and it was really good. I used the Trader Joe's salmon rub on it, and then lemon. I did make myself nachos a couple of the days, just Doritos, some taco meat, cheese, melted cheese, shredded, not like that squirt stuff, and salsa and sour cream and avocado, sliced avocado. What was I playing? So the last week of school, we played Wordle and we played Hurdle, but Hurdle pissed me off because, it was Flashdance. Hurdle is a game where you get to listen to like just a little smidge, like a second, if that, of a song, and if you don't get it, then you get to try again. You get like a second and a half or like 3 seconds or something. Typically there's no words. And I knew it was Flashdance right away, like from the first part. I was like, that's Flashdance. And I put in Flashdance and it said no. And so then I was like gaslighting myself, and the kids are like, they had no idea because it's 80s music. We're playing it in 8th period. And one of my kids was like, why don't you see if there's another Flashdance in there and maybe that's it. I'm like, okay, let's try Flashdance again. It's our last chance. And so I hit, it was the same Flashdance, same thing. And it said yes. I was like, but that's what I guessed the first time. Same artist, same title. So that pissed me off. And then the kids always want to play Connections, which is, it's like Wordle, it's on the New York Times. I can't play that game. I suck at that game, and apparently so do the kids because we never get it. We tried like the last 2 weeks of school, because Wordle only takes about 2 minutes, and Connections we tried for like 5 minutes. So we tried at the end of the day, and we sucked at Connections. You have to put, it gives you like 16, it'll be like 16 different words, and you gotta put them into 4 categories. But I don't know, my brain does not work for that game. Alright, obsessing. Google switching to total AI, right? And these freaking data centers are scary. The things that are being written into, I don't know, law maybe, are scary. Everything with AI it's trippy. The data centers are using so much electricity, they're polluting the waters. The property values of the people that live around the areas are gonna plummet. The ground shakes. There's a buzzy noise that comes off of them for miles and miles. This is not good, and nobody even really knows 100% what and the why of them. Yeah, it's terrifying. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you guys live by any? Are they putting any in by you? I know there's one going into, is it Utah? That's gonna use just as much power as the whole rest of the state combined. And the grids can't handle it. You guys, sessions of like 40, 45 seconds, and then 60-second break in between, then 45 seconds, and then a 60-second break, and then 45 seconds. And I've been doing it, and I think that it does relieve a little bit of my that morning anxiety that I wake up with a lot. But it's not comfortable, and somehow you not only drool, but you dry out your mouth at the same time. I don't know what's going on. And like, I had this gray shirt on this morning, and I was doing it while I was playing fetch with Peps, and my shirt was like covered in drool, and I'm sure if my neighbors could see me, but whatever, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm old, so I can do whatever and not really care. If you're uncomfortable, do it inside your house. I don't know. Give it a shot. What have I been treating? I did get, okay, so let me drag this stuff a little closer. 2 bags of gum. One was a gift, and one I got myself, but I don't remember which was which. I want to say, I think that I ordered this one, and this one was a gift. No receipt, but I have a hunch. So now I'm fully stocked for the summer with extra spearmint and extra polar ice gum, which is great because I really was down to just that Trident vibes. So we've got our gum, thank you. And then with the gum and no receipt, look. My Elvira Funko Pop. I'm like, pop socket. It's not a pop socket. Isn't she darling? Look at her. Oh my god, she's gonna go in this room. This is my fourth Funko Pop because I gotta find my Michael. But I have a Danny Trejo one, and I have Magica to Spell, and now I have Elvira. Mistress of the Dark. Elvira. Mistress of the Dark. Like, she's literally laying down. I love it. Oh, that brings me so much joy. And then I had to get another. I just grabbed this one because I don't want to take one that I've already started to Florida. Because when I run out, then I run out, and I need a full one, just in case. So, this is the eyebrow pencil that I always use, the Color Stay Brow Pencil. It is like $9, and it lasts not that long. However, it's my favorite brow pencil of the moment. Up to 24-hour wear. I don't know about that, because I don't sleep with any makeup on. And it is the color Soft Black. So that, and then I got this hair and body perfume, which I will probably get the full size, but I wanted to smell the travel sizes, and so I got this. I got 2 of them, but the other one is on my purse. This one is Athena Love Letter. Athena Club Love Letter Hair and Body Mist. They also have lotion. But I wanted to give it, I'm trying to be careful with my money, especially in the summertime, because I don't got a lot to work with without my school checks coming in. So I got this one, and then the super pink one. They smell so freaking good. I cannot believe how good they smell. So I can highly recommend those scents. I don't know, the other ones I'll probably maybe take a look at in the fall, like the vanilla. They had a vanilla one. And an amber one. I'll check those out in the fall. For now, we're rocking the Love Letter and the super pink. And they come with this little, so you can hook it onto stuff. Love it. Okay. And now I think we're to, what have I been succeeding at? I did start my 75 medium. Today is day 3 of my 75 medium, which is just me walking at least once or twice a day, doing my bands every day, and drinking a lot of water every day. That's kind of what I'm focusing on. And then I read, like, I don't even have to put this is not fake at all. Like this, well, the movie's fake, but this is really happening right this minute. I watched Nim's Island with Cruz, which is Jodie Foster, and the little girl. I know the little girl's name. I just can't think of it right now. It's a little adventure, survival, thriller, but for kids. Where like this girl's kind of stuck on an island without her dad because her dad went to go find something, and the island gets invaded by these tourists. She's trying to keep the tourists out. Jodie Foster's like this writer with agoraphobia, but that's the only person the little girl knows how to contact, so she has to go out there and assist her. It's cute. And then because we had 3 days the last week of school, technically we had 4, but like each class only had 3 days because the final schedule was weird. So we watched the movies at school, which was Uncle Buck, free on YouTube. So there's no excuse. If you've never watched Uncle Buck, it's free on YouTube. Go watch Uncle Buck. And then another class we watched Gremlins, also free on YouTube. And then in another class we watched Labyrinth, which is also free on YouTube. So any of those I can recommend with my whole chest. Go watch those. And then I did watch Wuthering Heights, and you know, I heard a lot of shit talking about it, but I had never read the book, so I had the privilege of just enjoying it for what it was. And 4 stars. 4 stars. I got it. It tugged at my heartstrings. It stuck with me. It was also beautiful, and it set up that yearning. I'm like, you know what? If that's what love is, I've never yearned like that. That's what movies will do to you. Good movies will do that to you. Like, wait, I don't think many people have ever yearned like that. That is an extreme circumstance. But it was great. I loved it. The costumes, the scenery, the way that they had them so innocent as kids, and then, you know, he would always look at her as the innocent because